your energy is a lot of time going towards whatever, work or coaching the kids' team or this other thing over here or this committee that you're on or this whatever, name the thing, alcohol, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Like there's positive places your energy can go, but it's also like make sure you reserve some of your best energy for your people that you love the most. Your partner, your marriage, your kids.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the TPM Show. We are having a great time over here, laughing earlier, having a lot of fun, and we want you guys to be part of it. So I've asked Erin, my wife, to stay. And if you don't know, Erin is a coach. She coaches women, and the bulk of the women that she works with are married women. Happenstance, they happen to be married women who are married to businessmen like myself and like you guys probably. So she has a plethora of knowledge and database points to go through from a woman's perspective. So that's what we want to bring with you guys today is getting her perspective on some of the key questions that I hear a lot in our community and also from you guys. So babe, thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
Having a lot of fun with you, Colton, off camera.
We are.
Just laughing and joking. But these are some serious topics. So we'll try to get into our serious mode here for just a second anyway. One thing I hear a lot from guys, and I know you're going to be loving this question, is how does that guy know? So his wife comes up to him and goes, leave me alone, right? She's frustrated for some reason with him. She's had a bad day, whatever the circumstances may be. And we can get into different scenarios. But she says, leave me alone. At what point does the guy say, fine, and just give her complete space? I'll give you the total extremes, right? We know the guys aren't going to go into DEAR mode. And DEAR is an acronym we use in TPM for defend, excuse, explain, react. So does he give her complete space? Or, how you've often asked me, is does he grab her and pull her in tightly? You're answering from all women across the world.
Yeah, right. Many different scenarios. But like if she's not in a rageful state where like she has left the building and is just, super rageful and all that. But if it's just like, leave me alone. If it like with you and just like that masculine energy, that leading energy that like, I'm going to pull you back in here. Like, get over here. You're my woman. Get in here and like pull me in. That is, as long as our relationship is like, doing fairly well, that is amazing. And it is like, I don't actually want to push you away. I'm just hurting. Underneath all of these actions that we all do that are like pushing our partner away, but push, pull, it's hurt, right? We can have it looks different. It can be, you said this or you didn't do this, blah, 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 whatever is a hurt. Somebody's hurt.
But it can also be what comes up sometimes for the guys, and it's come up for us before, is you could be hurting from something else. And I could be the punching bag. Now, you don't do it to me that often anymore, but that can happen. Vice versa, of course.
Yep.
But so just so the guys get context, you could set your wife off or trigger her, and it couldn't be not even you that she's upset at. It's just you're the closest punching bag or the closest thing, and that sets off the reaction. Just so guys listening, that they got some more context.
But yeah, a lot of women and like underneath all of that, like acting out or whatever, like get away from me. We really want you to pull us in close. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So what that looks like, guys, just so you know. So Erin might get mad. She's like, get away from me. If I grab her, pull her, and I go, come here, babe, and I'll a lot of times I'll say something what I think is funny anyway. And it's just something to let you know that the mood's light, right? And I'll pull you in and hold you tightly and,
Or just say like, come here.
Come here. Yeah. I'll say that a lot too.
Lead her.
Yeah. And the voice, just for the guys to get the tonality I'll use, I'll be like, come here. Hey, come here. I'll do it that way. And you always say women love that, right? And that kind of more dominant presence and dominant leader presence that's in there. And there's some times when I can tell that is not the time to do that. That's why it's a hard question to answer, because you need some emotional intelligence. You have to read the room. You have to read the room, because there have been times when I pulled you in and you're like, no, I really want space, right? And vice versa. There's times when I've thought you really wanted space you've come up to me and go, all I wanted you to do is pull me in. I don't, the last thing I wanted you to do is give me space. Which is, sometimes it's hard to read. Now I've gotten better at it over the years, at least I think I have. I also might joke with you a little bit. You know, you might give me space, and I might say something snarky or funny, again, just to change the mood, right? To hopefully change your mood, change mine. And then I might pull you in, or I might say something like, hey, look, you know, I get we're both upset, but let's not leave the situation this way, right? And appeal more to that rational. And you and I also have agreements in our marriage. Like we work really hard on not creating walls between us. And we've agreed to, if I say, hey, I need space, like for you, you need to know when I'm coming back.
Yep.
Right. So I call it closing the loop, right? You need to know. So if I go, hey, look, I need space right now. We can talk about this tonight, or we can talk about this tomorrow. And you're not as concerned about when we're talking about it, as long as you know that that conversation is going to happen and when it's going to happen.
Yes.
And on the other end, I get to make sure that conversation happens when it's said it's going to happen.
Yes.
So when a guy's wife says, I need space, he has a couple options. Read the room, come over here, pull her in tight, hold her, let her know that she's loved no matter what, right? So whatever she's going through.
We're going to figure this out together. Or, I got you. You're safe.
Yeah. We'll figure this out together, you know, what have you. And guys, you got to try different things, but read the room. And if you've never done this before, gentlemen, you may get a different reaction because she might not know why you're doing it or what's going on. It may even feel good to her, but it may feel so foreign that she might react. So just understand, if she reacts differently, doesn't mean that she just doesn't want it or don't do it again. It might just mean like, what the heck? I've been with you for 15 years and you've never shown up this way. What the heck's going on? So it might just startle her in her nervous system, so to speak.
Yeah. And it's like, I've actually had this conversation a few days ago with the guys I was with at the retreat, is like, sometimes like, look, we're all going to get triggered, right? And whenever we're triggered, usually our best self doesn't come out. And we say things like, yeah, I need space, like leave me alone or whatever. Whichever partner is either less triggered or grounded, it's a really active partnership to like, maybe you're the one that's calm and she's the one that is not, right? And to like be the grounded, calm, energetic present and pull her in and like let her borrow your calm.
Let her borrow your calm. Interesting.
Yeah. And so it's like I was saying, the analogy is I do this with our children who are 4 and 7. Obviously, their brains are not developed. Obviously, I have a lot more life skills of like emotional intelligence and all the things. And it's like, I've done this before. They have tantrums and I'm at the end of my rope and it's like, I kind of tantrum with them. It's a shit show. It's a shit show. And versus when I'm more resourced or am just in a better space, blah, blah, blah. And I can just pull who's ever having a tantrum in and hold them and I let them borrow my calm. It's honestly the same thing for your partner.
100%.
Yeah.
I do all the things that we teach the men to do with their wives with our kids. And it works it works every time. Right? Especially with our daughter.
Yeah.
Like she reacts to it. Like I go, okay, hidden motives technique, validation. Like I use all the things that we teach our guys in the activation method with our daughter, and she reacts amazingly to them, right? She'll calm her down. She feels safe. She feels heard. As a father, it's an amazing feeling to be able to provide that to our daughter. It's an amazing feeling for me and her son too. Yeah. But specifically for our daughter.
I was going to say, and also it's like what Aspen, our daughter, is experiencing, or when you give it to me, like I will you, like when I was like doing a lot of personal development and just learning some of these skills and relational skills and all the things, is like, I actually remember the first time I was in experience within a relationship where I was like, oh, I feel like I've gotten. I feel the feeling of what it feels like to feel gotten by my partner. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it drops defenses. Yeah. It just softens us. It brings us back to our femininity and, brings us back on board. Like, so it's like the gift of like allowing her the feeling like that you've got her, that you might be the calm for her storm during that time, or you like validate, like, yeah, I get this is really hard or whatever. She's going to have the experience of feeling gotten or understood or whatever language you want to use. And I'm using the word feeling very intentionally.
Sure, I get that.
That's how the feminine operates in the world.
Tangentially to this conversation, the guys I work with their businesses skyrocket. One, obviously less stress in the marriage, all those things, but they use these same skills in their business. These are the same skills you use in a negotiation, but they'll use it with their female coworkers or employees.
Yeah.
I had one guy used it with, how can I say this without giving him away, with a very important political person. So he was at an event where there was a very important politician who happened to be a woman that was there. And I had given him the assignment. Okay, you and your wife aren't doing well. I want you to practice the hidden motives technique on every woman you encounter, right? Naturally. And so he's at this business function essentially with a powerful politician, as a woman, and he used the hidden motives technique. And you know what happened? She teared up. She got super emotional because she felt seen and heard.
Yep.
Here she is at this she's putting on her mask and every, her armor to go battle and everything else. And he is a very well-known businessman. And he just related to her on such a great level. He was like, holy crap, this works. I was like, yeah, I told you. This is what we teach, It works on so many levels. And it's not manipulation.
No.
You're just making someone feel seen and heard. Like you're doing a great thing out in the world. And so I always tell the guys, do that. Keep doing that. And you can apply it to your wife. Now, coming back to this, let's say it's one of those moments where she is pissed off and she's like, hey, I need space. I need to get out of here. I can't do this anymore. I have my theory on what guys should do, but I'd love to hear from your perspective.
If she's saying it and she actually means what she's saying.
Well, if it sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah. Then it's all contextual, but it's like, do respect that boundary if it's that type of space that she needs.
Hey guys, I wanted to interrupt this episode because it's dawned on me that many of you guys aren't aware that we actually have a book on how to save your marriage without talking about it. Now, thousands of men have read it, they've reviewed it, and I want to give you the opportunity to do the same. If you're interested in grabbing it, it's a short read, but it's helped a lot of men just like you. And maybe you're not interested in the activation method yet, but this is a small entry point that can really turn things around for you. Go over on Amazon. We have it priced as cheap as Amazon will let us. And that way you have a resource that you can use right now to start getting some results in your marriage. Now let's get back to the episode.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about times if I'm like legitimately, and it's interesting because I don't know for me, but I know some of my clients, and for me, when we're actually past the point of like, we're no longer like pushing you away, like verbally and just fighting, it's almost like a calm, like, no, I need space.
Sure.
Like that is an actual, for me and a lot of women, I know not every woman, we're not, we're all different, but it's like when I'm actually Doug, like, no, I need to be away from you right now. I need to go be by myself. In almost a calm way, I'm past the like FU stage or like the really acting out stage.
Yeah.
That is more for a signal for Doug, at least in me, where I'm like, no, this is valid.
Yeah. No, and I totally agree. Totally agree. So what I would tell the guys here in this situation, and mileage may vary, right? Every relationship's in a different state, so to speak. But say something to the fact if she says, I need space, I can't do this anymore. Say, be calm. So be what we call the wolf: wise, open, loving, and fierce. That's what the acronym for wolf that we use: wise, open, loving, and fierce. And that's a calm, grounded, masculine man. Say, hey, I totally get you need space, and I'm going to give that to you. But let's talk about what that looks like. Do you need space for an hour? Do you need space for a week? Space for a year? Do you want to make sure I have zero communication with you? I just want to make sure that we're both on the same page here, so that we don't result in something growing that something we don't want to. And be firm. And I would say talk to your partner like you were talking to your kid that's done something wrong almost. Like set a firm but loving boundary. Like, hey, look, I want to know. Because I think a lot of times it's that messy middle, right? I was reading to you a post from one of the guys so we could talk to him about it, but I don't want to give this guy away in case, because I know some of these guys' wives watch the show and listen to the show. Essentially, he was, his wife wanted space and he's texting her to see if she's okay. He's playing the good guy, the good boy role, right? The nice guy trying to win her back by seeing if she's okay and all these things. He's not effectively giving her space. He's giving her physical space only because she's not in the room with him. He has no choice. So he's still trying to communicate. And a lot of guys do this, which comes across as needy, right? They need the validation from her that things are okay. Because he's not really checking on her. He is a little bit. But my guess is he's trying to make sure that they're okay and that he's doing a good job.
Right there. What's the energy behind everything?
Yeah, most guys do it, and guys hate it when they figure it out. Oh my God.
Yeah.
When I tell the guys they're being needy and they're being the victim, wow, did they hate it? Now I would too. That's my coaching style, is very blunt and very honest. That's my job. It's what guys pay me for. They don't pay me to sugarcoat it. Like, here it is. You're just being needy. I won't say exactly how I say it, but you're being needy. And when you're needy, you're playing the victim card, right? And that's not sexy to a woman. So back to when she spates. First thing foremost, pull her in, as you said. You give a great thing like, hey, get back here. Come on, I love you. Let's not be like this. Like, what do you need? So I'll say something like that to you, or I'll joke with you a little bit, give you a little smack on the butt, something along those lines. Again, guys that aren't in that position or haven't done that, like I've done with you over time, like in our relationship, our marriage is great. So, if she really needs that space, or if you really need the space, what I'd want to do is stay grounded and look at you and go, great, you can have the space. I just need to know, is that for an hour, a day, a week, a month, a year? And the way that I do it, and guys, again, mileage may vary, is I'll exaggerate it because it kind of blows it out. Do you need a decade of space? And of course, she's going to either laugh or she's going to say, this guy's freak. If she's mad at me, she's going to say, what a jerk, what a corny guy. His jokes are horrible. But it puts it in perspective a little bit when you kind of blow it out and then go, cool. Then I'm not going to call, text, or anything. Just want to be clear about that so that you have your space. And that gives your partner the opportunity to say, no, I just need a little time by myself. If you need a text, I'll check in when it's appropriate. And I just need a couple hours. So now both people have a boundary, right? She can extend it after that, say, no, I need more time. But now both of them know there's an end point of a couple hours, or there's a day or a week, or hey, I need to take a weekend away. Just you got the kids, or whatever it may be. And so you've got it solidified. Because oftentimes, I know times that you and I have gotten in arguments, and this is kind of a joke, but at the end of the argument, you're like, what the hell were we arguing about?
Right?
It starts off with the trash. The argument ends up with dirty clothes, or ends up with talking, you were flirting with Susie. I wasn't flirting with Susie. What the heck? I don't even know who Susie is. Or whatever else it may be. It can take a thing of its own, and the emotions just take over, right? As our son was talking, our reptilian brain kicks in, and it's so cool to see him learning that stuff. But the reptilian brain kicks in, and we just go into this fight or flight or freeze mentality, and it just takes over, and you start stacking upsets one on top of the other, and that is not a fun road to go down.
Nope.
Instead, stack wins, right? Which you do a great job with our kids and our family at night at dinner table. It's a side topic, but a lot of the guys do that now.
The magic moments?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And for those guys that don't know, and this is off topic, but at dinner we often do it, and you kick it off a lot, is we'll ask the kids and each other, but we start with the kids, like, what were your magic moments from today? And it's a great way for younger kids to get them to share what's going on in their day, because it's a classic parent thing. Oh, how was school? Or asking your wife, or your wife asking your husband, how was work? That was good.
Not good.
Like, what was the best thing that happened at work today? What was the best thing that happened as a mom today? What was the best thing, whatever it may be, is a great way of doing it. But anyway, so guys, this gives you some ideas of what to do. As Erin said, most women are going to be naturally dominant in their feminine energy. And those women want you in your masculine energy. So pull them in. And then she has the option of pushing away more, or saying, no, I need space. And if she needs space, first of all, respect it. Respect her wish and her boundary. But you also get to respect yourself and ask for clarity around the boundary, right? If there's no clarity, hey, you can do what you want, but get clarity around that boundary that she's putting in place. And at the end, clean it up. Clean up your side of the street without pointing fingers at her. Clean up your side of the street. And sometimes cleaning up your side of the street isn't your actions, but it's how what happened landed on her, right? So oftentimes I will
The impact.
apologize to Erin even when I don't think I'm done anything wrong, because I'll say, hey, what happened? I never meant to hurt your feelings. Because that's true. I never meaning to hurt Erin's feelings. Sometimes I do it inadvertently. And sometimes her feelings get hurt and I'm not apologizing for what happened. I didn't do anything wrong in this example. You're looking at me like, what are you talking about? I didn't do anything wrong, but I still didn't want to hurt her feelings. So I'll apologize for the impact my actions had, not on my actions. And that feels cleaner for me. And trust me, guys, sometimes I need to apologize for my actions too. Grew up with a house full of guys, played sports my whole life. I still talk like locker room sometimes in my jokes. So there's things there too, but you got to clean up your side of the street. And hopefully your wife's emotionally mature like Erin, that she'll then clean up her side of the street or vice versa.
Energetic with your relationship, if you're turning out a lot, quote unquote, not doing anything wrong, but your energy is a lot of time going towards whatever, work or coaching the kids' team or this other thing over here or this committee that you're on or this whatever, name the thing, alcohol, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Like there's positive places your energy can go, but it's also like make sure you reserve some of your best energy for your people that you love the most, your partner, your marriage, your kids. And like, so it's like sometimes like I know as women, like we'll just like throw our hands up and be like, I need space. I can't do this anymore. It's like, we're not getting you anyway. So like in some ways, like, fine, I'll just push you away and see if you'll come back. But it's like, it just like anything, your marriage needs tending to in the best of you, not your scraps.
100%. You're also saying that women will sometimes push away to get your attention. Mm-hmm. Those two things. Yeah, totally.
I'm not saying that it's the best part of us at all.
No.
It's the triggered, hurt part of us.
But it's the part that works for some relationships. I see this as patterns in a lot of marriages when I'm talking to the guys. I don't want to say specifics because I know one guy in particular, his wife watches this and listens to it. But I know there's patterns in a lot of relationships, many relationships, the men that I coach and that we coach at TPM, where their wife has learned if she pushes away, if she takes her ring off, if she leaves her phone out, little things that she knows that she'll get a reaction. And at some point, just like kids, any reaction is at least a reaction, right? That's not what they want, but they want a reaction.
Yeah.
So that, hey, I'm here. Pay attention to me.
Yep. As women, we want attention from our man.
Yep. And you're getting that right now.
Yeah. It just is, right? Just as much as you men want appreciation from your women.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying that's a healthy reaction to just like act out like that. I'm just saying that is where it's coming from for most women.
Oh, for sure.
And then also it's like, for like being able to level up and be like, oh, you know what? Like it's vulnerable to say like, I'm feeling lonely. Like I want more of your time and attention. Like that's a vulnerable thing to say and an honest thing to say as opposed to acting out. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, beautifully said as always. And thank you so much for being here and helping these guys out. Definitely on a mission. As you know, TPM's on a mission to save children by saving their fathers first. And that obviously bleeds out to the women, their wives, their communities, their businesses, their places of worship. So thanks for doing that.
Yep. That's why I work with women too. It always trickles down to the children.
Yes, always does.
Yep.
Thanks for the work you do.
You too.
Yeah. Gentlemen, as I always say in the moment of insight, take massive action. You got some very good points here. You should be taking notes. Go back and listen to what Erin said. She wants you to pull her in, right? She wants that. She wants the masculine version of you. The masculine version of you doesn't give you a license to be an asshole. She's going to tell you straight up. It does not give you a license to be a jerk. That's not what masculinity truly is. You need grounded masculinities and come into your core of who you are as a man. If you need help with that, you got to go through an alpha reset. Enough said there. If you don't believe me, don't take my word for it. Go back and look at the guys, the testimonials from men just like you that have been through the alpha reset, and they'll tell you the same thing that I'm telling you. It won't change my life if you go or don't, but it will change yours, right? So take action no matter what. We've got all of these episodes on the TPM show. They're free for you to use. Go through no matter what you do, whether you join TPM, whether you join another program, do something. Do something today. That's what I want for you. Remember, I'm in your corner. I'll see you next time on the TPM show.